You know, I'll never forget that moment at the little diner down the street from my house. It was a Saturday morning. Place was busy. The smell of fresh coffee, the sound of old rock songs humming in the background. And sitting in the corner booth were two men who, at first glance, looked about the same age. Both probably in their mid-70s. Both silver-haired. Both wearing those old-school baseball caps that only grandpas seem to pull off. But then I noticed something that hit me harder than I expected. One of them, let's call him John, needed help just to slide out of his seat. His hands shook slightly as he reached for his cane. Every movement looked like a battle. The other man? He stood up effortlessly, straight back, strong stride. He even reached down, picked up his grandkid with a big laugh, and spun him around like it was nothing. Same age, same town, two completely different worlds. And I remember sitting there thinking, wait a second, what if getting weak isn't just about getting old? See, this is the most dangerous lie about aging. That weakness, frailty, losing your independence, it's just normal. We've all heard it growing up, haven't we? Well, you know, that's just part of getting old. Enjoy your body while you're young. It's all downhill after 60. But here's what nobody really tells you. Muscle loss with age? It's not automatic. It's not destiny. It's not your fate written in stone. It's behavior. It's choices. It's habits. Tiny little decisions we make or stop making every single day. And for people like John, it didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, quietly, invisibly, until one day standing up from a chair feels like climbing a mountain. But here's the beautiful part. That also means strength can come back, even after 60, even after 70, even after 80. Because your muscles, they're not dead. They're just waiting for you to give them a reason to wake up again. And in the next part, I want to show you exactly why your muscles aren't the real problem here. There's something else happening beneath the surface. And trust me, once you see it, you'll never look at aging the same way again. You know what's funny? Right after that breakfast at the diner, I couldn't stop thinking about John, the man who struggled just to stand up. Later that day, I found myself at the local park, and there was this guy, probably around the same age as John, mid-70s, doing pull-ups on the monkey bars. Pull-ups. At 70-something, his name was Mike. We ended up chatting for a while. You know how it is at small parks? People just strike up a conversation, and at some point I asked him, "Man, how are you still this strong at your age?" He laughed, real casual, and said something I'll never forget. Most people think their muscles are dying when they get older, but really, they're just bored. Isn't that such a perfect way to put it? See, here's what Mike explained. And trust me, this is not some crazy fitness guru thing. It's basic biology. Your muscles don't magically fall apart because there's a timer running out. They shrink because you stop giving them a reason to stay. It's like having a car in your garage. If you don't drive it for years, the battery dies, the tires go flat, dust collects everywhere. But, and this is the key, if you clean it up, put in some fresh gas, and actually drive it regularly, that same old car still runs like a dream. Muscle works the exact same way. It's not about age, it's about use or neglect. And sadly, most people fall into this little trap called gentle aging. Walk a little, stretch a little, maybe lift a soup can here and there. But muscles, they need challenge. They need effort. They need resistance. Without it, they get smaller, weaker, slower, not because they're dying, but because they're waiting for you to show up, waiting for you to ask for strength. And here's the thing most people miss. The good news is, muscles are incredibly forgiving. Even in your 60s, 70s, 80s, they'll still respond. They'll still rebuild. They'll still grow, but not from walking circles around the mall. And not from sitting in a rocking chair, hoping for the best. So, the real question becomes, what exactly do your muscles need to wake up and stay awake? Well, that's where things get a little more interesting, because it turns out the three biggest muscle killers in modern life might not be what you expect. Let me show you. You know what's crazy? Most people think losing muscle is just about not working out enough. Like, If you sit around too much, sure, you'll get weaker. But what if I told you there are invisible things stealing your strength every single day, even when you think you're being healthy? I didn't believe it either, until I saw it happen to my neighbor, Linda. Linda is 68, super sweet lady, walks her dog every morning, eats pretty clean, does yoga twice a week. Basically, everything doctors tell seniors to do. But last year, she fell in her kitchen. Nothing dramatic, and just slipped while reaching for a mug, broke her wrist, and worse. When she went to the hospital, the doctor told her, "Your muscle mass is dangerously low." She was shocked. How? I walk every day. I eat salad. I do yoga. But here's what nobody told Linda, and nobody tells most of us. Muscle doesn't just need movement. Muscle needs protection. And there are 3 silent muscle killers out there, stealing strength from people like Linda every single day. Let me break them down real quick. 1. Inflammation. The rust inside your body. We all know about soreness after a workout, right? That's normal. But chronic inflammation? That's like having a slow-burning fire inside your body, quietly damaging your muscles, joints, and energy over time. Processed food, sugar, poor sleep, stress. That combo is like pouring gasoline on that fire. And what makes it worse? Inflammation blocks your body's ability to build new muscle, no matter how much protein you eat. That's why people like Linda were doing all the right things and still shrinking. 2. Protein mistiming, the sneaky muscle mistake. Here's another shocker. It's not just how much protein you eat, it's when you eat it. Most people over 50, heck, most people, period, eat almost no protein at breakfast, snack on carbs all day, and then load up on steak at dinner. Bad news? Your body can only absorb so much protein at once, especially as you age. Muscle is built in small doses, spread throughout the day. Mike, the pull-up guy from the park, he told me his simple rule: 30 grams of protein 3 times a day. That alone keeps his muscles fed 24/7. 3. Lack of challenge, the comfort zone killer. This one might be the sneakiest of all. It's easy to get comfortable. Walking your dog is good, yoga is great, but if it's always easy, your muscles never have a reason to grow. Remember, muscles love stress, healthy stress. It could be resistance bands, bodyweight squats, light dumbbells. What matters is effort, not exhaustion. Muscles respond to effort like plants respond to sunlight. No effort, no growth. And that's really the big lesson here. Getting older doesn't automatically equal getting weaker, but letting these 3 muscle killers into your daily life, that's how it happens. Slowly, quietly, invisibly, until one day, something small, like reaching for a mug, changes your life forever. But here's the really exciting part. If muscle can fade quietly, it can also come back quietly. And in the next part, I want to show you why building muscle after 60 isn't just possible. It might actually be faster than you think. Ready to see why? You know, most people think muscles are all about working harder, lifting heavier, sweating more. But here's the crazy part nobody talks about. Muscle growth, it actually starts up here, Tap's head. Let me tell you a quick story. There's this little community center not far from where I live. Every Tuesday afternoon, they have a ping pong club for seniors. Sounds pretty chill, right? But there's one lady there, her name's Carol, who absolutely blew my mind. Carol is 82. And let me tell you, she owns that ping pong table. Fast reflexes, smooth footwork, little grin like she knows exactly where she's gonna send that ball next. One time after she destroyed this poor 50-year-old guy who thought he had her beat, I asked her, "Carol, what's your secret?" And she just laughed, shrugged, and said, "Gotta keep the brain young if you want to keep the body young." That stuck with me, because science actually backs Carol up. See, after age 60, it's not just about losing muscle fibers, it's about losing the connection between your brain and your muscles. Like the signal's getting fuzzy. You know how a phone call cuts in and out when your signal is bad? Same thing happens in your body. If you're not challenging your brain, if you're not learning new moves, playing new games, doing stuff that feels a little awkward or new, your brain slowly stops talking to your muscles. And that's a disaster. Because without that clear connection, your body gets slower, your balance gets worse, your reaction time fades. That's why activities like dancing, ping pong, tai chi, tennis, even juggling or learning a new instrument, these aren't just hobbies. They're like brain workouts for your muscles. Carol wasn't just playing ping pong for fun. She was literally keeping her muscles alive. One serve, one swing, one laugh at a time. And that made me wonder, what if the best anti-aging workout has less to do with what you lift and more to do with what you learn? But hey, what about when you do want to build muscle the old-fashioned way? How do you train smart without spending hours at the gym or risking injury? Well, in the next part, I'll show you the 4 habits that almost guarantee your muscles stay strong, no matter how many birthdays you've had. You know what's funny? When people ask me, hey, what's the best workout for someone over 60? Most of them expect me to say something like deadlifts or squats or resistance bands. But honestly, the real answer is a little different. The best workout is the one that makes you feel like you again. Strong, capable, proud, like you're still in the driver's seat of your own life. That's what all of this is really about, right? Not six-pack abs, not bench pressing 200 pounds, just freedom. Freedom to pick up your grandkid without worrying about your back. Freedom to travel without feeling exhausted. Freedom to feel at home in your own body. And that kind of freedom, it comes from habits. Simple daily habits. Nothing fancy, nothing extreme. Let me share with you 4 of my absolute favorites. Habit number 1, train for life, not Instagram. My friend Bob, 72 years old, told me once, I don't care how much I can bench press. I just want to be able to carry in the groceries without needing a nap. Love that. Bob's workouts look like this. Standing up from a chair 15 times, holding onto the kitchen counter and doing calf raises while waiting for coffee. Walking up and down his front steps like it's his personal stairmaster. Real strength is quiet. It shows up in the small moments. Habit number 2, feed your muscles like they matter. Muscle isn't built in the gym, it's built in the kitchen. And yet, so many folks over 60 barely eat any protein until dinner. That's like trying to fuel your car after the trip is over. My neighbor Linda, she's all about what she calls her protein anchors now. Greek yogurt at breakfast, tuna salad at lunch, a little grilled chicken at dinner. Not perfect, just consistent. Muscles love consistency. Habit number 3, stress. But the good kind. Your body needs tiny doses of stress to stay sharp. That could be ending your shower with 30 seconds of cool water, skipping late-night snacks so your body gets a little fasting time, taking a brisk 10-minute walk after dinner. None of these things are hard, but together, they whisper to your body, hey, stay young, stay ready. Habit number 4, move like nobody's watching. This might be my favorite. Movement doesn't always have to look like exercise. Sometimes it looks like dancing around the kitchen while your grandkid laughs their head off. Sometimes it looks like balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth. Sometimes it looks like taking the long way through the grocery store just because you can. The point is, movement equals life. Stillness equals shrinking. And that's what I want you to remember most. Your body's not working against you. It's waiting for you. Waiting for tiny signals every day that say, I'm still here. I'm still moving. I'm still living. Because strength after 60, it doesn't come from magic. It comes from moments. Moments stacked like bricks. Until one day, you look around and realize, wow, I didn't lose myself. I found a stronger version. And speaking of finding strength, there's something really special I want to share with you next. It's a simple little 7-minute morning routine designed specifically for folks over 60 to gently wake up your muscles, your balance, and your energy before your day even really starts. Trust me, it might just become your favorite 7 minutes of the day, Ready to see how it works? You know, every time I see my neighbor Linda walking down the street now, head high, moving steady, carrying her little grocery bag in one hand, I smile. Not because she looks young, but because she looks free. That's the whole point, isn't it? Staying strong after 60 isn't about chasing who you used to be. It's about building who you still get to be. Your muscles, your balance, your energy, they've been waiting for you this whole time. So here's my question for you. And I'd love if you shared in the comments, what's one tiny habit you're going to start this week? Just for you. Something small, something doable, something that says, hey, I'm still here. And if you found even one little spark of hope today, hit that like button, subscribe, and come along for the next part of this journey. Because I promise, we're just getting started.